بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, last night we began the point of preparing ourselves for the sacred and blessed month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to reach the month of Ramadan in the best of our health, in the best of our iman, and in the way that this coming Ramadan that comes in our life becomes the best and the greatest of Ramadan that we have ever spent and we have lived. So before we get to the direct preparation for the month of Ramadan, we want to go through some points which are the preludes to Ramadan, which are the month of Rajab and Sha'ban, just so that inshallah we can keep along this information with us as well. So as we know that currently we are in the 7th month of the Islamic calendar, which is known as the month of Rajab. And Rajab is the 7th month in the calendar, but it is also one of the 4 sacred months in Islam. As we know from the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that there are 12 months in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, minha arba'atun hurum. Amongst the 12 months, there are 4 that are considered to be hurum, sacred. The word hurum in Arabic comes from the word haram, which also refers from the Arabic word of being sacred, Masjid al-Haram, right? Haram in our terms, in our own cultural languages, sometimes mean impermissible or not acceptable, haram, halal. But the Arabic linguistics or the details of the word haram or haram itself also comes from the root of something being sacred, things that becomes impermissible, which might be permissible outside. Like for example, ihram. In the state of ihram, things become impermissible that may have been permissible prior to being in the state of ihram. Using of attar and fragrance, it's recommended. Rasulullah ﷺ loved fragrance, right? He loved something that had a good fragrance to it. But in ihram, you're not allowed to use fragrance, even though that was an acceptable amal to Rasulullah ﷺ. So things that may become impermissible because of certain conditions. Just like that, the word haram also comes from the root of something being sacred. That's why these months are known as Ashhurul Hurum, the sacred month. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not identify or directly mention what these months are. But from the prophetic hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he explains to the Sahaba, the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives the details of these months. And we have heard about this so many times, but this is just an introduction. Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned 3 continuous and 1 separate. So 3 months which are sacred are continuous: Dhul Qada, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram. 11th, 12th, and the 1st. Going like this as a consecutive 3 sacred months. Dhul Qada, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram are all sacred months that are continuous. And then there's a break. And then there comes the month which is known as the month of Rajab. Does that mean Ramadan is not sacred? Does that mean that Ramadan is not valuable? Of course, Ramadan is the greatest of all the months, right? As all the days are beautiful, but Sayyidul Ayami Yawmul Jum'ah. Rasulullah said, all the days are great, but the best of the times or the best of the days is Yawmul Jum'ah, the day of Jum'ah. So Ramadan itself has its own significance, its own honor, its own blessing. But the month of Rajab were the sacred months were those months that even prior to Islam, the people of the Arabs, the pagans, used to value and honor this month. They would not fight with one another. They would not feud with one another. And there was a sense of peace amongst the people. That's why they were known as the sacred months. And that continued from pre-Islamic time, and Rasulullah ﷺ continued that tradition afterwards. So the month of Rajab is one of the 4 sacred months in Islam. It is also a month which is a prelude to the month of Ramadan, introduction to the month of Ramadan. As the scholars mentioned so beautifully, it is the month to cultivate the land and to sow the seed. This is the time to sow the seed if we want the fruits in the month of Ramadan. So if you sow the seed in the first of Ramadan, it's not likely that we'll get fruits at the end of Ramadan. It's where we begin much earlier to prepare for the fruits, inshallah, that we start in the month of Ramadan. Inshallah, for the next few days, we will continue this. But just to mention that there are many misconceptions related to the month of Rajab, and that's what we will cover, inshallah, the next few days. That a lot of time it's about Laylatul Miraj, the 27th of Rajab. Then there are specific types of food and specific breads and fastings and umrahs. All that, inshallah, we will cover. But just to remember, inshallah, that there is no specific form of worship that has been prescribed or described from the sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ in this particular month. There's no particular ibadah that Rasulullah ﷺ said, this is Rajab and do this, except that it is known to be the sacred month, where the ajr, the reward of actions, are increased multiple times. It is a time where the dua, Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban wa balighna Ramadan. Oh Allah, give us barakah and blessings, i.e. our life, our wealth, our health, so much blessings that we're able to witness the month of Ramadan. Oh Allah, give us barakah and blessings in the month of Rajab and Sha'ban, and allow us to witness the month of Ramadan. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to truly allow us that these few months or few weeks that we have in front of us are really valuable in a sense that we spiritually, mentally, grow ourselves to a point that we can welcome the month of Ramadan and spend the best moments of our lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us, inshallah. Subhanallah wa bihamdi.